All right, Troops TV, presented by Barstool Sports. Liverpool won, Chelsea won. The big game, one of the big games of the weekend, along with ours. Chelsea early red card, still able to get a point at Anfield. Guni.
Well, a lot to talk about during the game, obviously. I think the first half, before we saw that diabolical red card, we was quite on top. The first 10 minutes, I will say Liverpool did have their dominance, but it was to be expected. We weathered the first 10, 15 minutes pretty well. Then we started to get comfortable into the game. We got into our flow of things, which was rewarded with a goal, an absolutely world-class header from Kai Havertz. Like, there's not really any other way to explain that goal. Just go back and see it and just understand what I'm talking about. The way he beat and looped Alisson in the air, found itself on the far post. Fantastic goal, deserved 1-0. When it was 11v11, Liverpool struggled, and I actually thought that we could have come away with 3 points today had it been 11 men. So obviously the controversial moment that happened was the corner. The action from the corner where Reece James was seen to handball the ball. Now, there was an argument during the live stream that I thought it was quite harsh because clearly...
Split decision.
Yeah, because clearly I could see the ball came off Reece James's thigh and it hit him on the arm. But then somebody in the comments, whether rightfully or wrongfully, they did mention that in the rules is that if that was to stop a goal scoring opportunity by the letter of the law, it's a red card. So if that's the case, I can't really be too upset about that. It's harsh. As harsh as I think it is, it's the rules. I can't argue with that. Then we've now got the second half that we need to discuss. Obviously, it's a completely different game. Thomas Tuchel has to make some in-game changes. I was very happy with the changes that he made. It was good to see Kovacic on because he knew exactly what he was coming on to do. Coming on to shore up that midfield, give it some extra protection. And N'Golo Kante had a knock in the first half. Doesn't look too serious, so was able to walk off. But Kovacic, he'd done his job fantastically well, protected that midfield, kept possession well. Honestly, all-round performance from Chelsea in the second half as a collective was absolutely brilliant. Mason Mount, slightly disappointed in him, but he fulfilled his purpose, which was to obviously help out Chelsea in that midfield. And you just saw how crucial he was, particularly in the closing 20 minutes of the second half. The closing third of the second half. Sorry, you saw how important he was coming in and helping out with the interceptions. What I saw today, Zara, sorry, I know that I'm going on a little bit, but I've just got a lot to say. But what I've got to say, Zara, is that today I saw why we are European champions. And I saw that if people weren't sure of us now, we've walked and grown into that mentality. And if you're not taking Chelsea serious as title contenders after what you just saw today, then I don't know what game that you are watching or if you even understand the sport. Because today we looked as good as anybody at one of the most difficult stadiums to go to in the country. We know their recent history, winning the league with over 100 points. No, so I'm thinking of Man City. Sorry, I'm thinking of Man City. I got that one wrong. Champions League winners.
Champions League.
That's what I'm saying. So, and they still have world-class players in their squad. So for us to be standing there and still be able to come out with some kind of result, I'm proud of the boys.
All righty. So, manager Thomas Tuchel. That second half, if you ask me, that was an absolute masterclass. Him being able to adjust to a situation and see what's needed at the time with the red card coming in the first half. Second half was more defensive minded. Set up the two banks of four. That was just so disciplined, so well drilled. Thoughts on how he did.
It's no surprise, and I'm sure you know by my reaction when we spoke about the second half. Obviously, I said there was a lot to do, but I've got faith in the manager because I've seen his process since he's been at Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel doesn't just have one way of playing football. He has multiple. Even when he does have 11 men, he makes a lot of in-game changes. And it's like, I'm going to go back to the point of the Arsenal game because a lot of people were expecting us to pump Arsenal 3-4-5 6-0 like Man City did today. Tuchel's approach is slightly different to that. In games where he can see he's comfortable and chances are we're going to come away with 3 points, he might switch over to focusing on the defensive phase of the game, which serves well in games like this when we are on the back foot and we need to counter-attack and we need to sit back and defend for most of the games. That's what's called tactically preparing your team. Sometimes it's not always about getting 6, 7, 8 goals a game to prove we can do this. But when you're under pressure and you have to sit back and defend, can you do it? Tuchel has shown today, and he's also made sure that every person on that squad understood their role, and just saw that perform to a T today.
Big Rom, I thought he had kind of a quiet game. You tried to get
I'll
involved
say
here and there,
this.
but
I'll say this. By Lukaku's standards, he didn't have the best game. He didn't really look too good. Struggled with the dribbling, struggled with the basics. Where he didn't struggle, and we knew that he wouldn't, was holding up the ball. His test against Van Dijk and Matip, although they both had decent games, I'd say more so Matip had the better game. I still think he dealt with them two quite well, because listen, we've got to respect Romelu Lukaku, as he is a world-class striker and his physique is fantastic, but he's also going up against a world-class partnership as well. So we've got to respect that. So in terms of that, I've got to give Romelu his respect that he done what he could do today. Was he effective? It could have been better. Could he have got a goal today? I think I don't really think so, because the opportunities that were presented to him, Matip was there, closed him down. That one clear-cut opportunity that we had.
That was that one block, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that one opportunity that he had, there was really few and far between for Lukaku. But again, can you really complain too much? You're coming away from home. You're at Anfield. You're playing the whole half of the game with a red card. So I can't really complain. It would be harsh to really give that criticism to Lukaku.
And that for sure you cannot do. Complaining 1-1, getting a point in Anfield on a red card. I mean, that's a result I'm sure anyone would take. But Guni, man knows football.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, sir.
Before we go, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff on Troopz's show, as well as Man Knows Football. Make sure you subscribe to that as well. You get me? Yeah. That's my own channel. You can find more of my views there. And obviously, you're going to find me here weekly on TroopzTV. I love being here. Zah, bless up to you. Troops, I know you're watching this. Bless up to you. Bless up to everybody involved in the whole production for the TroopzTV, man.
And there we go. TroopzTV, presented by Barstool Sports. We're out.
One more. Big up yourselves. Big up yourselves. The people that tuned into the stream and everybody that watches. Big up all of you.
They know it.
Yeah, now we can go.
You guys already know. TroopzTV, presented by Barstool Sports. We're out.